The situation is getting more and more serious. I told you yesterday that on August 30th, Ukraine suddenly launched the largest airstrike against Russia since the start of the war. The Russian intelligence agency disclosed that dozens of drones took off from neighboring Estonia, bombed the Russian military base and caused the damage of 4 Russian transport aircraft. Estonia is a NATO country. If the news is true, it is equivalent to the naked fact that NATO countries have joined the war. Yesterday, Ukraine once again took off multiple drones and continued to attack multiple targets in Russia. This time it even launched a drone attack on a nuclear power plant in Russia. According to Russian media reports, on September 1st, 2 Ukrainian drones attacked the city of Kurchatov, where the Kursk nuclear power plant is located in Russia, on the same day. A building was damaged, but the nuclear power plant was not damaged and is still operating normally. This news shocked many people into a cold sweat. Now that Ukraine has once again targeted the nuclear power plant in Russia, it is becoming more and more unscrupulous. You must know that the disaster of the Chernobyl nuclear leak is still in sight, and Ukraine has launched attacks on nuclear power plants many times. Once a nuclear leak occurs, the consequences will be really unimaginable. After previously acknowledging that Ukraine has mastered the production of long-range drones, Ukrainian President Zelensky triumphantly admitted yesterday that Ukraine already has the production capacity to produce long-range weapons that can strike targets over 700 kilometers away, and will continue to increase its efforts in the future. Attacks in Russia. Coincidentally, the Pushkov military airport, which was attacked by Russia, is 700 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border, and now the Ukrainian president has issued such a hint, which is actually declaring to Russia and even the whole world. The attack on the Ukrainian military airport was done by Ukraine and had nothing to do with Estonia. Moreover, it showed Russia that Ukraine has the ability to attack Russia from a long distance. Although every Ukrainian attack on Russian territory has attracted more violent retaliation from Russia, Ukraine, which has been unable to move on the Donbass front, still enjoys this method of sneak attacking Russian territory. Another reason why Ukraine frequently launches large-scale attacks on Russia is that the level and production of Ukrainian drones have suddenly improved qualitatively. This has to make people suspect that the United States and NATO are behind this. It is possible that with the help of the United States and NATO, the production line of Ukrainian drones has been secretly launched, so Ukraine today has a large number of drones that attack Russia every day, making Russia hard to guard against. There is another news that is particularly eye-catching today, that is, the United Kingdom announced that it has begun to set up an arsenal in Ukraine. According to sources from foreign media, Britain's largest defense company signed an agreement with the Ukrainian government. According to the agreement, this British military weapons production company will set up an office in Ukraine and at the same time build an arsenal to supply weapons to the Ukrainian army in a timely manner. It seems that the United Kingdom feels that it is not enough to simply provide weapons to Ukraine. It has opened an arsenal in Ukraine and is preparing to fight in Ukraine for a long time. From this aspect, it can also show that Ukrainian UAV technology and the number of UAVs have both improved by leaps and bounds. Behind this is very likely that NATO countries are providing assistance to Ukraine, and even have established a secret UAV production line in Ukraine. Whether it is flying drones from Estonia to attack targets in Russia, or whether the United Kingdom has set up an arsenal in Ukraine, it all proves that NATO is pressing harder and harder, breaking through Russia's red line step by step. Facing the provocations of NATO countries, today we saw 2 chilling news from Russia. The first is to name Britain and NATO. Any arsenal established by NATO countries in Ukraine will become a key target of Russia. At the same time, a piece of cold news came from the TASS news agency. On September 1st, local time, Borisov, president of the Russian National Aerospace Corporation, stated that the Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile has been put into combat readiness. Everyone knows that Sarmat is the magic weapon of Russia's long-range cruise missiles, with a maximum range of 18,000 kilometers and each of which can carry 10 to 16 nuclear warheads. It is no exaggeration to say that one Sarmat is enough to destroy a country. Russia has long said that once NATO crosses the red line and participates in the Ukrainian war, Russia will not hesitate to have a nuclear war. At a sensitive moment when NATO countries have actually participated in the Ukrainian war, Russia's Sarmat missile suddenly entered a state of combat readiness. It seems that Russia has also begun to make the worst plan to confront NATO head-on.